Listen, we're going to get right back into Because of Winn Dixie by Kate DeCamilla, and we are now on chapter 17. So a lot has been happening in our story with our main character, Opal. Right now she's hearing the story from Miss Franny about her great-grandfather, Litmus. Let's see what happens. He just came back from the war. So, Litmus came home from the war, said Miss Franny as she went on with her story, and found herself, he found himself alone. And he sat down on what used to be the front step of his house. And he cried, and he cried, and he cried just like a baby. He missed his mama, he missed his daddy, he missed his sisters, he missed the boy he used to be. When he was done crying, he had the strangest sensation. He felt like he wanted something sweet. He wanted a piece of candy. He hadn't had a piece of candy in years. And it was right then that he made a decision. Yep, Litmus W. Block figured the world was a very, very sorry place and that it had enough ugly things in it and that he was going to go and do. He was going to concentrate on putting something sweet in it. So he got up and he started walking. He walked all the way to Florida. And the whole time he was walking, he was planning. Planning what? I asked. Well, planning a candy factory. I asked, did he build it? Well, of course he did. It's still standing out there on Fairview Road. That old building, said Amanda. That big spooky building? It's not spooky, said Miss Franny. It was the birthplace of the family fortune. It was there that my great-grandfather manufactured the Litmus lozenge, a candy that was famous the world over. Well, I've never heard of it, said Amanda. Me neither. Well, said Miss Franny, they aren't made anymore. The world, it seems, lost its appetite for Litmus lozenges, but I still happen to have a few. She opened the top drawer of her desk, and it was full of candy. She opened the drawer below that, and it was full of candy too. Miss Franny Block's whole desk was full of candy. Would you care for a Litmus lozenge? She asked Amanda and me. Why, yes, please, said Amanda. Sure, I said. Can Winn Dixie have one too? Well, I have never known a dog that cared for hard candy, said Miss Franny, but he's welcome to try one. Miss Franny gave Amanda one Litmus lozenge and me two. I unwrapped one and held it out to Winn Dixie. Well, he sat up and sniffed it and wagged his tail and took the candy from between my fingers real gentle. He tried to chew on it, and then that didn't work. So he just swallowed the whole thing in one big gulp. And then he wagged his tail at me and went back and laid down. I ate my Litmus lozenge real slow. It tasted good. It tasted like root beer and strawberry and something else. I didn't have a name for, but something that made me feel kind of sad. And then I looked over at Amanda, and she was like sucking on that candy, and she was thinking really hard. Do you like it? Miss Franny asked me. Well, yes, ma'am. What about you, Amanda? Do you like the Litmus lozenge? Well, yes, ma'am, said Amanda, but it makes me think of things I feel sad about. I wonder what in the world Amanda Wilkinson had to feel sad about. She wasn't new to town. She had a mom and a dad, and I had seen them with her at church. Wow, there's a secret ingredient in them, said Miss Franny. I know it, I told her. I can taste it. What is it? It's sorrow, said Miss Franny. Not everybody can taste it. Children especially seem to have a hard time knowing it's there. I taste it, I told her. Me too, said Amanda. Well then, Miss Franny said, you've probably both had a share of your sadness. I had to move away from Watley and leave all my friends, I said. That is one sadness I've had, and Dunlap and Steve Dewberry are always picking on me. That's another sadness. And the biggest one, my biggest sadness is that my mama, she left me when I was small. And I can hardly remember her. I keep hoping I'll get to meet her and tell her some stories. It makes me miss Carson, said Amanda. And she sounded like she was going to cry. I have to go, she said. And she got up and she almost ran out of the library. Who's Carson? I asked Miss Franny. Sorrow, Miss Franny said. It's a very sad-filled world. But how do you put that into a piece of candy? I asked her. How do you get that taste in there? That's a secret. That's why Litmus made a fortune. He manufactured a piece of candy that tasted sweet and sad at the same time. Can I have a piece to take to my friend Gloria Dump? And another one to take to Otis down at the Gertrude's Pats? And can I have one for the preacher? And can I also have one for Sweetie Pie too? Why, you may have as many as you want, said Miss Franny Block. So I stuffed my pockets full of those lozenges and I thanked Miss Franny for her story and I checked out Gone with the Wind. It was a really big book. And I told Winn Dixie to get up and the two of us left and we went over to Gloria Dump's. I rode right past the Dewberry's house. Dunlap and Stevie were playing football in the front yard and I was getting kind of ready to stick my tongue out at them. But then I thought about what Miss Franny said about war being hell, and I thought about what Gloria Dump said about not judging the boys too hard. And so I just waved instead. I stood there and kind of like, they just kind of like stared at me then. But when I was almost all the way past them, I saw Dunlap put his hand up in the air, and Dunlap, he waved back. Hey, he hollered. Hey, Opal. I waved harder, and I thought about Amanda and how it was that it was neat that she liked the same story that I did. And then I wondered again, who was Carson? Guys, that's the end of chapter 17. I'll see you later. Have a great day. It's beautiful right now.